I love you,
All right.
Hector.
I love you too, buddy.
This is going to be a fun call. So thank you for getting on the call. I know there were back-to-back team calls tonight, but this one we're very excited about. And even though he was willing to do it from a baseball game a couple of weeks ago, I think that's crazy. And you needed to just enjoy that with your dad. So I'm glad that you did that.
Yeah.
So has everybody here done Max 30? Has anybody, like you've done it, right? So I'm sure that you recognize Hector, which is how I accosted him and met him in the first place in Cancun. But we did become friends, and I'm really glad about that. So Hector's been a part of Beachbody for 4.5 years, and he is a 2-star diamond coach. And he is Mr. Positive himself, and that is really what he's known as. He's actually lost 55 pounds, and he's kept it all off at home. He doesn't ever set foot in the gym. So that's something that obviously we do. So that's really a nice success story there. He's a Max 30 cast member, as you know, and he is a man of faith. His faith is very strong, and it's very clear in his brand on his Facebook page. I'm not sure if you guys follow him, but if you don't, you should. He believes in the law of attraction, which is something that we talk about all the time in terms of what you're going to put out is what you're going to get back. And so I'm sure he's going to talk about that more tonight. And he really loves talking about overcoming your fears, which is the topic of this call. I think that is what holds us back the most in all areas of our life is fear. And I know we talk about Failing Forward as a personal development book. And most of us, if not all of us, have read it, but just fear of failure and all of your other fears. So he's a great guy to talk about this and push us through. I've talked to a lot of coaches, and I feel like August was kind of slumpy for a lot of us. So I think this is going to be a really good push to get us all back on track. So here we go, Hector. Are you ready for this?
Give it up for Hector Lopez.
Hey.
Coming in the ring. I'm coming
to you, Hector.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Soleil Empire. Did I say that right? Soleil?
Soleil Empire, that's it.
Right, yes. Thank you guys for having me on the call. Yes, I was supposed to be on the call 2 weeks ago, and I was supposed to go to a game with a friend, but I ended up going with my dad. And it was something that, we haven't been out in a while with a game, so I had to, give the time to him. So I asked Dawn to give me another slot for another day. So today is that day. There's always a purpose for everything. Everything happens for a reason, as many of you know. So fast forward to right now. Again, my name is Hector Lopez. I've been with Beachbody for 4.5 years. I transformed myself 4 years ago. The way my journey started was pretty much, it was basic, but I know it's deeper. But that's something that I'm still encountering as, I get deeper into my thoughts and deeper into my journey. I went to a pair to buy some jeans. And when I went to buy some jeans, I was a size 40 waist. And when I went to go buy the jeans, just, a new pair of jeans, summer, winter, whatever it is, it was a size 42. And there was no way that this guy was going to be wearing a size 42. So it was something that I was battling with within my own head. I went out. I went back home that day, very upset, very disappointed at myself. And I said, I'm not going to do this no more. This is not what I want to be. This is not how I want to feel. I already was in the positive stages of my life at that point, but physically I wasn't there. I felt like I was there mentally, but physically I wasn't where I wanted to be. So I went to Costco's. I was a Biggest Loser watcher fan. I was a big fan of Jillian Michaels and Bob Harper. So I went out and bought the 2 DVDs, both of them. I did it. I remember the days. It was a Tuesday and a Wednesday. But I remember I told a friend of mine at work about wanting to work out, but I didn't want to go to the gym. I wanted to just work out at home. So he gave me some bootleg insanity workouts. Yes, I did it. That was me. But, at the time, whatever, I didn't know what was insanity. So I remember popping in the DVD, started it all off. And there's a reason why I'm telling you this. I started it all off, and it was the fit test. And from the minute I did that fit test, I did not die, thank God. But it was an intense workout. But it was exactly what I was looking for. Cardio at home. It was like jogging in place and all these things that I was looking forward to doing. And then I just jumped on it. And I went in so hard that I actually did the 60 days straight from beginning to end, without stopping, without giving up, all that stuff, except on the 28th day of the journey. When I started my journey, it was on January 20th. And on the 28th day, my body hit me. My body just like, it went down, and it just like something went over me, and I felt like I didn't want to move forward. I got out of my bed, I went to the living room like a regular routine, press play, but my body didn't want to react. My body was like, there's no way you can do this right now. I'm tired, I'm hurting, can't do it. So I turned off the DVD, which I'm pretty sure many of you probably felt at one point in time, that you just can't do it. You just want to stop right then and there. So I took myself back to the bed. I literally sat in my bed and I gave myself a smackdown. And I said, is this what you're going to do? Are you going to start something and not finish it? You've been doing this all your life. The only thing that I've never quit on was sports, which is baseball, which is my number one, and bowling, which is my second. Those are the two things that I always did 110%, and I never gave up. But when it came to other things in life in general, I always started something, and when it got hard, I moved away from it. I ran away because I didn't want to fail, and I didn't want to lose, and I hated to lose. So I gave myself a smackdown, and I said to myself, if this is the life that you want to live, then just quit. Or do you want to go back to looking like the way you did on the day one picture? Because I remember taking that picture. It was the hardest day of my life. My coach told me to take the picture. I said, no way am I taking a picture of myself. There's no way. But I took a picture of myself, and I looked at it, and it killed me. It hurt me how far I let myself go, the belly, the tits, and all that crazy, And I just, I gave myself such a major smackdown that I literally got off of the bed, went back to the living room, pressed play. I started extremely slow. And as the process went, it was the best routine that I did to that day. And from there on out, 4.5 years later, I've never turned back. And Insanity pretty much changed my life. So Insanity, then Insanity the Asylum was the two programs that I did for 4 months to get me to lose 55 pounds and to get the abs that I always wanted. I didn't get the abs until I went to the Asylum. So what am I saying by that is you're always going to hit a wall. In life, you're always going to hit a wall. I don't care what are you doing. It doesn't matter what you do in life. If you're a plumber, if you're a finance manager, if you're like a baseball player, you could be anything in the world. You're like on a high note, but something is going to smack you down back to reality. And that smackdown is going to instill fear in you. And when that smackdown instills fear in you, this is what I like to, the acronym that I created for fear, for my personal opinion, is feeling emotional at rebirth. You're going to feel emotional at that point. It's like when you hit that wall, you're going to ask yourself, why now? Why when I'm up here, you want to bring me back down? You're going to get to that point in life that you're going to get knocked down so hard that you're not going to know how to get back up. But at that moment, you need to ask yourself, why is this happening to me at this point? It's because you got to a point already that you succeeded. You succeeded at something that you probably failed at so many times, but now you're getting to this level up here. You're getting up on top of the mountain, and then all of a sudden you hit a rock with your foot, and then you get knocked down to start all over again. And you're going to get that emotion in your body right when you're about to just get back up. So that's where the feeling emotion or rebirth come around. Because you're going to get hit within the workout. Let's use that as an example, since that's what we all do. Our business, that's what we do now. You're working out. You're giving it your all. You're giving it your best. You're probably newbie. You've probably been doing it for so long. And this is a new program for you. And you feel like, oh, this is too intense for me. Is it really too intense? Are you really allowing it to give you a chance? Are you giving the actual program a chance to give you the results that it's meant to give you? You got to ask yourself, even with the business, is this business giving me what I want? It can, but are you putting in 110% of your efforts to get the results that the business can give you? Because a lot of times we kind of judge the things that we do by the actions that we don't take. And that's a problem that a lot of us have. We tend to go into something with so much expectations that if we don't see those results right away, we quit. Because we assume because it's an at-home business, it's not a easy paycheck, that it's supposed to be easy. No, it's just like a regular business. You work for someone right now that at one point started where you are right now in your business. They created it from the ground up. It took them decades probably to get to where they are right now. But again, they had to start somewhere, and that's where you are right now. You have to start somewhere. A lot of them failed. A lot of them have fear. But you know what they didn't have? They didn't have quit in them. They didn't want to quit because they had a vision. They had a vision to get to where they wanted to be. They had a vision that they knew that if they stuck to it, they was going to get there. So that goes back, a story that I can give you right now is myself, even when I did Insanity, when I did Asylum, the accomplishment that I felt at that moment, I felt fulfilled. I felt brand new. I felt like I needed to pay it forward to people. But the one thing I always told myself, and I told my coach, and I told all my friends that were in the industry, that one day, I said, one day I am going to be a part of the Insanity cast. I said that for years and years and years. And you don't have to believe me, but if you ask my team, I swear they'll tell you. But it was like I brought it into existence. And that's why the law of attraction is so important. Why is it important for me to explain that to you? Because it didn't happen a couple of months after I did Insanity. It didn't happen a year. It didn't even happen 2 years. It took 3.5 years before I even got what I even imagined in my head. I envisioned myself with the cast. I envisioned myself to be right next to Sean T, Tanya, Alicia, and the rest of the crew. But what a lot of people don't know is that Max 30 wasn't my first opportunity. I actually lived the moment to be in the infomercial. I was in the new Insanity infomercial. They filmed it in 2014. And in 2013. I'm sorry, October of 2013, they filmed Insanity, the new Insanity infomercial. And I said to myself, there it is. My dreams come true. Woo! I'm like, the cameras are in front of me. Like, I see a bunch of other cast, like not cast members, but just people like myself that got the opportunity to be in the infomercial. But then I see Sean, then I see Tanya, then I see pretty much half of the cast of Insanity there. And at that moment, I said, wow, that's the power of vision. That's the power of, if you stay consistent, if you believe in what you're thinking, you are going to get there. It may not be tomorrow. It may not be next week. It may not be next month. It may not be next year. But if you stay in the zone, if you stay in that vision, if you put it on a vision board, I promise you it will happen. There's going to be many times that they're going to test you. They're going to knock you down. They're going to set you back. But at that moment, you gotta stick to your vision. You gotta stick to your passion. Whatever it is that you put out there, you have to stick with it. Because life is gonna challenge you. Life is gonna test you. Are you really prepared for this change? That's what it's gonna do to you. Because sometimes you may not be, you may say, yeah, I want this, I want that, I want this. But then when life throws you a curveball, you move back, and guess what you do? You run away. Because you really was not ready for it. So when I got that opportunity in October, we filmed, and once I was done, I was like the biggest bubblehead in the world. I'm walking around. I felt like I needed a string just to make sure I keep myself down. And that was the first time I ever caught a ferry into the city. I did everything brand new that day. I said I wanted to go all out this day. And I'm taking the ferry back, my glasses on, my big smile from ear to ear. I get back and I talk about it to everyone, and I was on a high. What happened that day is that I went back to work the next day, and I resigned from my job, and I told them that December 13th, it was going to be my last day. I gave them a month and a half notice, because I knew that me being there, that's where I belong. Not where I was. Is when I was in that infomercial, I belonged there because my heart put me there. Because I knew I had to inspire other people to make the same change that I made. The struggles that I went through, the challenges that I faced. I can teach someone else to do the same thing. Why not? I needed time to do that. I needed the freedom to do that. And working at a 9-to-5 wasn't going to do that for me. Because it was a lot of restrictions. I had to be there. It's not like some people that have the luxury to be on their phone all the time. I had to be in front of a computer a lot. So if I would have been working, if I would have never done that, March of 2015 is when I got the opportunity for Max 30. And I was there. I was there with 200 other people. I was scared. Yes, I was. But you know, in my head, I put my headsets on. I literally said hi to the people that I knew. I hung around for a little bit, and then I left. Because at the end of the day, the battle, every day of your life, is you versus you. It's not you against nobody else. It's you versus you. I'm a big, when it comes to YouTube, I always look up motivational videos, and those motivational videos, they talk to me. They tell me the things that I needed to hear at the moment that I needed to do it. I put my headsets on. I went into another room. I just went into this whole different world, warming up, getting ready. And when my name was called, I was ready. And I was there. I gave it my all. The last move, I had to hold a low plank. There was a low plank. It was like I had to hold it. And in the back of my head, all I kept telling myself was, Hector, 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds and your life can change. That's all I kept saying to myself. 10 more seconds and your life is going to change. And when they said, okay, break, I dropped. And when I tell you that, I got emotional at that moment because I knew I gave it my all. If they didn't choose me, I was okay with that because in my heart, I knew I gave it 110%. So why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because in your business, in order for you to succeed in it, you have to give it 110% in order for you to be satisfied to either walk away satisfied that you gave it your all. But if you're going to walk away only putting in 70%, you never got the full ride on what the business opportunity is going to give you. And in your fitness, if you're going to show up and give it 70% of your efforts and then ask yourself, oh, this workout didn't do anything for me, I think I'm going to do another one. There's no way and there's no reason why any of these programs should be doubled up. They're intense. All of them are intense. If you give it 110% to 25 minutes, to 30 minutes, to an hour, that's all your body needs for that one day. But many people are like, oh, but I'm going to do 2 workouts because the first one I didn't feel it. Well, you didn't feel it because you were so thinking about the second workout that you only give it half on the first one. So you shouldn't ever half anything that you're doing if you really want to see the true results of your efforts. Because I got abs in 4 months. So many people was like, how did you do that? You know how I did that? I committed. I got dedicated. I sacrificed. You got to make sacrifices if you want to make changes in your life. If you want to live the life you were living, then stay where you were. But if you want to make a change, if you want to become a new person, then you got to make a lot of changes. You got to make a lot of sacrifices. A lot of you may have family. I understand that. You might have kids. I understand that. But don't you want to be the best role model for those kids? Don't you want to be that person that says, you know what? This is for you. I'm sacrificing our time for the next 4 months so I can have the next 30 years with you. Or the next 40 years. Or may God bless you with 70 years. Whatever it is. But that's what you got to think about. Sacrificing time now is increasing lifespan later. You have to believe that. You have to embrace that in your heart, that those things that you put into now is going to get you to where you want to be, to where you belong. And I hope that makes sense, because it's something that we all need to understand, that you're going to get challenged. It could be through your kids. It could be through your wife or your husband. It could be through work. It could be through family. Because I'm going to tell you, family could be your worst enemy. You love them, but you know what? There's certain things that you're just going to have to separate, because a lot of them, they don't believe in what you believe in. They're going to challenge you. They're going to test you. They want to see if you're really committed. What is this whole beach body thing that you're talking about? What is this workout at home? Go to the gym is better. No. If you commit to something, stick to it, and don't talk and don't show them with words. Show them with action. Show them with results. Because so many people knocked me down for a long time. Hector, that doesn't work. Hector, you will never do good in this. Hector, this is not for you. Hector, you should go to the gym. Hector this, Hector that. Hector, I heard it all. You know what I kept saying? Watch me. Watch me. That's all I could say. Watch me. I didn't know where I was going, but I just knew I'd say, watch me. I knew they was going to watch me anyway. So, and then so many people, like, they watch you. They don't even like, they don't even comment. But all of a sudden they see you on the street. Oh, you're doing an amazing job. I'm like, really? Where the hell you at? You've been watching me? But you know what? Somebody's always going to watch you. Always. You may not think they're watching you, but they're watching you. They got the eyes set on you, because many of them want you to fail. They want you to fail so bad that they can taste it. Like, I knew people wanted me to fail. That's what drove me every day. I used to wake up at 5 in the morning. I used to wake up at 4 in the morning just to get my workout in. I kid you not. Insanity at 4 in the morning is not fun. But I had to get it done, because I had to go to work at 7 in the morning. And then when I had to go to work at 8 in the morning, I would wake up at 5 in the morning. I always gave myself a 3-hour window, because I'm one of those that takes forever in the bathroom. I had to do my hair, my makeup. No, I'm kidding. But my point is that I sacrificed my mornings. I sacrificed my nights, because I knew where I was going. I'll go to sleep at 10. I would wake up at 5. I would not drink. I didn't drink for 6 months. Like, those are sacrifices that I'm talking about. I mean, I'm one of those that I can stop doing something overnight. I'm not an addictive type person. I mean, I'm addicted to fitness, but you know what I'm saying? Like, those negative stuff, like smoking and all that stuff. I could try it once and then I'm done. Kid you not, no drugs ever in my life, so I'm good. I passed that test. But anyway, so those are the things that you need to, like, give up, sacrifice. So if many of you are questioning what you're doing right now, Ask yourself that question. Am I sacrificing what I need to sacrifice in order to get what I need to get? Ask yourself that question. What are you doing to get there? Now I want to talk to you about the fear. I want to talk to you about a category, and I have them here so I don't forget about, the Beachbody business fears that I got from questionnaires that I gave people. One of them is rejection. We always get rejected. Every time you send them an invite, nah, I'm not interested. I don't do none of that shake stuff. I don't believe in none of that stuff. And at home, I'd rather go to the gym. I have a membership. You got talking and inviting customers, coaches. People are scared to invite people. People are just afraid to, invite people. Not fulfilling your purpose. Analysis for paralysis. How many of you, seriously, shake your head when you say you overthink everything? All of y'all overthink, yes. Overthinkers, we're all overthinkers. Being scolded if you don't have the same success as others. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop it. You are unique. You are your own worst enemy. But you can also be your own best friend. So love yourself. Trust yourself that the way you are looking right now, the way you're feeling right now is how you were meant to be. God made you that way for a purpose. But you need to own it. You have to believe that, you know what? I am someone. I may not be him, but I am me. But how can I be the best me that I can be? Ask yourself, be yourself. That's who you got to be. Some people may tell you it's too expensive. You need to believe in the product. If you believe in Beachbody enough, if you believe in Shakeology, if you believe in the fitnesses, as long as you believe in it, people will buy it from you. But if you go with the objection of the price, you failed. You fell into their trap. You need to, in the back of your head, tell yourself that, you know what? This business is a successful business, and I know is the real deal because I do it every day. So you have to believe in yourself. So the other one is failing. Obviously, we're all afraid to fail. Stepping out of your comfort zone. We're all afraid to step out of our comfort zone. There's a little circle, guys. It's okay if you step a little bit outside. Do something you've never done before. Do a video. If you've never done a video, do a video. If you've never done a post, or maybe a selfie picture, maybe a mirror picture of your before picture, show people your progress, stuff like that a lot of you might be scared to do. Just do it. Sometimes you're afraid that prospects don't comply with you and being successful. Sometimes we're afraid to be successful and we don't know what to do when we get there. That happens. Now, I'm going to throw you guys a couple of nuggets. Take it as you will. But before I do that, actually, you know what? I almost forgot. I already told you my Max 30 journey. I already told you my personal journey. And when I went to Europe this past couple of months ago, it was something that I always imagined I would do, but I never knew it would happen. Because, it's one of those that we are in a society that talks bad about anything outside of the United States. Plain and simple. Don't go there because you're going to get kidnapped. Don't go there because you're going to get killed. Don't go there because you're going to get poisoned, whatever the case may be. So I got the privilege to go to Europe for 3 weeks. I went to Portugal, Ibiza. I went to Amsterdam. I went to Belgium, and I went to France. And I have to tell you that it was a life-changing experience. Why am I sharing this with you? Because sometimes you need to do the things that make you uncomfortable so that you can start being comfortable. Like, I was very nervous to go out there because of everything that I heard here. But I needed to get out of my comfort zone to find who I really am and what I'm capable of doing. So while being out there, I slept on couches. I slept on chairs. I traveled for 9.5 hours cross country from Portugal to Spain. I slept on a boat. Like, seriously, I slept on a boat for 6 hours to get to an island. Like when we were in Amsterdam, we didn't know where our next destination was because Belgium wasn't even on it wasn't even in our like itinerary. And we were supposed to go to London. Then we found out how expensive London was. So we were pretty much like whoring for Wi-Fi. Literally, like we needed Wi-Fi. We had no Wi-Fi, so we had to go for Wi-Fi. We were like Wi-Fi whores. Excuse me, can I buy coffee? Do you have Wi-Fi? That's what we had to do this whole trip. So we had to book our next destination, either a flight, a boat, a car rental, last minute. I am not that person. I need to have a plan before I go anywhere. I need to have an idea before I go anywhere. Not this trip. And in another country. All these things happened on the fly. We went to Belgium, and I'm like, listen, I'm not big on like traveling, so I'm like, what the heck is Belgium? What's Belgium? Never heard of Belgium. So in the back of my head, I was like, I didn't know where I was going. But you know what? They said it. Everybody agreed. I said, okay. Went to Belgium. Everywhere I visited, it was beautiful. The point I'm trying to make here is that if I would have never got out of my comfort zone, I would have never rediscovered who I am. I would have never discovered I can be more if I just let it be. You know how they say, like I heard this yesterday, and reiterate it just came to my mind. I assure you guys is letting go, letting God. Let go and let God. You know what I'm saying? I heard that yesterday, and that's like so important. That we need to let go of our negative mindset, our fears. Let it go. God got you. He got your back. He's gonna take you. He's gonna take you. He's gonna take you to a place that. You hear echo? I was trying to use this mic, but I guess it's not working. How about now? Better? All right. Just tell me. Listen, I'm cool. I'm not perfect. Did you guys hear the part of letting go, letting God? Okay, cool. All right, good. So it's like sometimes we have to trust that He's going to take us where we need to go. You know what I mean? So when you ask for something, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you say. Because there's going to be many, many times that you're going to get tested. There's going to be times that what you say is going to happen. And I'm serious. Go back to 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Ask yourself a question that you probably asked yourself back then. Has it happened yet? Or is it happening? Like, I promise you that if you said that, I'm gonna buy me something and this and that, or I'm gonna feel a certain way, or this person annoys me. The more you speak and the more energy you give something, it's gonna happen right away. If you hate someone so much, stop talking about them, because guess what? They're gonna continuously annoy you. If you dislike a feeling that you're having about where you live, embrace where you are, because it could be worse. If you're in a relationship that you probably are not happy in, communication is the key. All this stuff is stuff that we need to be careful what we speak of. We need to be able, in our minds, to what we say has to be positive in order to attract positivity into your life. I'm not on this call on purpose. I know I'm on this call for a purpose. And that purpose has to be whatever you feel it is. Whatever you're feeling right now, that's the purpose why I'm here. Because I know that God always places me in the right place all the time. But you need to believe in your mind that every change that happens is something that you already asked for. Coincidences don't exist. There's no such thing as coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. It's up to you to embrace that reason or deny that reason. Because there's many times you question, like, why did this happen to me? Stop asking yourself, why did this happen to me? And embrace, okay, this happened to me. What now? This just happened to me. What now? What do I do now? I didn't get what I wanted, but I got this instead. An example, I went to be a fireman, went through the process, whole process. This was right after insanity, literally like 4 years ago. Went in, I went in, I didn't even want to be a fireman. My friends convinced me to, let's do it. I was, all right, I'll do it. I ended up being third in the state in the obstacle course. Fast forward, we didn't get called to 3 years later, which is like last year. And I went through the process and I answered all the questions the way I was supposed to, but I think I probably said something wrong. I didn't get the job, but everybody else that I was with got the job. In my mind, I said I did everything I needed to do. But the way I saw it is that God didn't want me there. God said, yo, that's not where you belong. Because if you go do that, then you wouldn't be going to Europe or Cancun or, wherever it is you want to travel. You're not going to be able to discover who you really are going to be if you were in this job. Does that make sense? Like, you see where I'm going with that? Like, if something doesn't happen for you, there's two things. Either it's not meant for you or you're not ready to receive it. And you have to, in your heart, you have to accept that. That you're not ready to receive it is because you're not mentally prepared to embrace it yet. You're not ready to tackle it yet. That's why life gets pushed forward. That's why sometimes it takes longer, because the opportunity came to you and you missed it because you were distracted. But don't get me wrong, you know how the world goes round and round. That's the same way the opportunity comes round and round. And it's going to keep coming at you until you are open to receive it. But you have to stop being scared. Overcome your fears. And I'm going to go into my quotes and go into it. No one can judge your effort. No one can judge your effort. You got to understand that what you do, it's your choice. It's your decision. It's your action. Someone else's opinion should not matter on what you want to do. They can give you an advice. It's up to you to accept the advice or deny the advice. It all falls down into the fear. Because if you do the decision yourself and you failed yourself. But now somebody tells you to do something and then you fail, you're going to blame it on somebody else. That's the easy way, right? And that's something that you need to not do. Like, no one can judge your effort. Fear is an emotion that we get the instant that it happens. Fear is an emotion that we get the instant that it happens. It goes back to the beginning. It's like when you're about to do something great, you hit a wall, boom. Now you're scared because now you got blocked. Now you got stopped from doing what you really wanted to do. And now you're scared. You don't know what to do. You don't know what's next step. What can I do right now? And boom, you get set back. Now you're put back to the beginning. But you got to understand that the fear is just that first instant, that first emotion that you get once you're trying to make a change in your life. Once you do that, once you overcome that first fear, everything else will fall into place. This is a good one. This is something that you need to, I think you should all write it or just memorize it or listen to the recording. Is, I didn't know who I was until I discovered who I can become. I didn't know who I was until I discovered who I can become. This is something that happened to me. I didn't know who I was until I discovered who I become. And I'm still rediscovering myself as the years go by. And that's something that you need to embrace with time, that life is going to change. Life is going to happen. And when you rediscover yourself and when you find yourself again and again and again, because I'm going to tell you right now, with change comes change. So there's going to be things that you're not going to be doing anymore. You're going to lose a lot of people in the process. Embrace that, understand that, and it's okay. When the time is right, they'll come back. Plain and simple. Going back, you will be judged no matter what you do in life. So make sure you get judged by your decisions. Same thing that I said before. You're going to be judged no matter what. So if you're going to be judged, why not be judged by something that you want to do instead of what somebody else tells you to do? Because if you fail, at least you know it's your decision. It was something that you committed to. It's something that you wanted to do. And the last one, like most important one, is don't rush success. Rush the patience to be successful. Don't rush success. Rush the patience to be successful. Because many times people want to hit the ground running so fast that they overpass themselves. They try to get to the finish line quicker than they even started. And guess what happens? You tire yourself out. You get to a point of no return, and you don't want to do nothing else. You want to just say, you know what? I tried it. It didn't work. I'm done. It's because you jumped out too fast. Take your time. It took me 3.5 years to fulfill one of my purposes, one of my thoughts, one of my dreams. Never allow your dreams to fade. They're going to happen for you. They're going to succeed. You will overcome those fears. Everything in life has a solution. Everything in life has a solution. So whatever problems you're facing right now, just know that there's a solution for it. But ask yourself this question. Are you really trying to face that solution, or are you trying to sweep it? Because there's a lot of times that's what we do. Something bad happens to us or something is happening to us right now. We know there's a solution, but we don't want to face reality. So we ignore it. It could be in a business. It could be in your job. You probably hate your job, but you're doing it because you have to. It could be in a relationship. You're in it because you have to, but you're unhappy. It could be it could be your health. You know you're not doing something right, but because you're comfortable in the life that you've been living for all these years, you don't want to change it. So just understand that every problem in your life has a solution, and that fear is not an enemy. Fear is just it's the beginning of a new person that you're trying to become. Because every time you fail, you learn. And every time you fail, you learn. And every time you succeed, you win. So it's always going to be a win-win situation. You're never going to lose. So every failure you guys might have faced till now, just understand, ask yourself, what did I learn from that part? What did I learn from that failure? And when you learn from your failures, success would always happen. And that is all I got to say, because I think I ran out. I think I said a lot. I think I talk too much too.
Hector, that was awesome. Thank you so much. I took many, many pages of notes with this. I think one of my favorite points that you made actually was when you were talking about sacrifice, and you said, maybe you have kids, but maybe that's why you want to do it. And just the whole idea of turning your excuses into your reasons. I think that that's huge. And I think that that helps us as coaches, but it helps us working with our customers and everything too. Cause it's a mindset, and it's not the easiest mindset to achieve. So I loved that. That was awesome. Does anyone have any questions for Hector?
Yeah, the mindset thing is very important. It could actually be your best friend, or it could be it could be your enemy. Like a perfect example, if I can share this real quick, is my recent challenge that I just had on Friday. You actually commented on it, is when I did the Go Ruck. I did a Go Ruck challenge. Is a civilian military training that I did in New York City in remembrance of 9/11. And I had to carry a backpack that weighed close to 40 pounds for 13 hours. I had to carry sandbags. We had to do workouts in the river. We had to do workouts in the mud. We had to jog. We had to sprint. We had to do burpees. And this is all with backpack. Burpees, push-ups, squats, overhead presses with the actual bags. Like, when I say that my mind was tested, definitely this weekend. And I have to admit that I always believed in that the mind is more powerful than the body. I always believed that. But I experienced it. When I tell you I experienced it, and all of you believe that when your body is aching, your mind is going to overcome it. Your mind is more powerful than your body. And I was next to a military guy that said this exact word. Always remember that pain is weakness leaving your body. And that's something that it could be in your fitness, it could be in your business, it could be in your family, in your life in general. All this pain that you feel, just understand that that's your weakness leaving you, but you have to embrace it. You have to understand that there's a higher purpose of why this is happening to you right now. It's happening to you because it's going to be a turning point in your life. That's that turning point that when it's like you're going full speed ahead and there's a detour sign, and then God is taking you to the right because He's want to make sure that He's directing you in the right direction. So understand that every detour is taking you to the destination that you need to be, where you belong. And it's all in your mind. All in your mind. So when your body says no, your mind is telling you yes. It's like that song, my mind's telling me no. But my body is the opposite. I just wanted to throw that in because I think that this weekend's experience is something that I want to share more of, and definitely I'm going to do a YouTube video about it and just pretty much share my whole experience about this, because I tell you that when you are in the there was no pain, not even insanity has put me in the pain that I went through this weekend. And you get tested. And when your mind gets tested to that point, I kid you not, you become a whole new person. For sure.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see that, because I did watch your leading up to and getting ready for it. So that'll be awesome. That's a huge accomplishment though. But like you say, you pushed yourself through it.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm just looking to see if I had any questions. Does anybody else have any questions?
Yes, hold on. Do I have any tips for a fairly new coach? Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Working this video for future watches. Okay. As a new coach, let go and let God. Definitely, what I would tell you is that you're going to fail. You're going to fail. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, because if you feel like you're going to succeed off the bat, I'm sorry to tell you, you're wrong. So you have to embrace the journey. That it's going to be like this. Even the top coaches say it all the time. Listen, I'm going to fail. I failed before. You know, I felt like, you know, I felt like, you know, like there's coaches that be like, listen, I went into it, I became a diamond in 2 months, and then poof, gone. You have to embrace every step. But the main thing that you need to understand is that you're going to fail. If you in your head, you know that you're going to fail, but while you're failing, you're learning. Because don't look at failure as a bad thing. Look at failure as a learning experience. So if you look at it in a positive way, you are never going to quit. Exactly, failing forward. But you got to understand that when you fail, you learn. Like anybody could say failing forward. Yeah, you can say that. But when you fail forward, did you fall forward on your face or did you fall forward on your right foot? Because if you fall forward on your right foot, you're still looking straight ahead and you're still seeing the opportunity that's ahead of you. You're still looking at it in a way that, oh my God, I still see I learned that. So now that's how you gotta, if you look at it that way, you're not ever gonna want to quit. You're not ever gonna look at a failure as a negative ever again. It's like a relationship that doesn't work. You're probably like beating yourself up. Like, damn, why didn't this work? It was so perfect. That time was done. Their time in your life was done. The same thing with your business. You know what? You get to a point that you succeeded. It got to this level of success, and then it was done. That's it. You already reached that point. Now you need to excel over what you already excelled here. And then when you excel here, you excel again. When you excel here, you excel again. It's always an excel. You're always going to excel. But you have to embrace that all those failures are going to take you to the next level. So just make sure that if you're going to fail forward, don't fail forward on your face. Not on the left foot either, on the right foot. So you can go back.
So I guess I think it's really common for coaches who are first starting out to kind of put off the personal development piece of this. And as we get in, and I did it first, but now I know how important it is and I do it every day. But what about you? Like, I know you do a lot of personal development, but do you have favorites?
I do actually. I have, I'm a big meditator. If you guys have Pandora, just look up meditation and just let it play. I'm not telling you to be all loud and like boom, boom. You're not going to dance to it. But like while you're at work, while you're driving to work, while you're at home, I'm not a big music guy for two reasons. One, they curse a lot. And two, a lot of the music speaks about the person's life, that person's life. And we as humans, we intake that and we put it into our own life. And we start comparing ourselves to that world of that person. So when you put on meditation music now, you are actually embracing your personal thoughts. You're embracing your feelings. You're embracing your ideas. And now you're being able to concentrate more than be distracted by the lyrics that are happening right now in this song while you're trying to do a team call and you're trying to come up with ideas on what a team call is. But yet, you got the music talking about, driving down the street, smoking in. No. No, but it's like, it's like, whatever. It's like you have to believe in your thoughts process. Believe in that process that you have. And meditation music, I'm not telling you to go out. You don't have to do none of that stuff. But you can just let it play. Eventually, it'll fade out. You don't even know it exists anymore. But at that moment, you're thinking for yourself. You're not allowing someone else to think for you because music thinks for you. They're giving you their problems. Books. I've read a few books for personal development. In the past, I've read Think and Grow Rich. Back then, read it. Great book. I'm a big Joel Osteen fan. So Become a Better You is definitely a great book. But when it comes to business-wise, I think that this became on top of my list is how to win friends and influence people. How to win friends and influence people. Oh yeah, Lewis Howes. Lewis Howes is definitely a good podcast. That was recommended to me, and he's an entrepreneur. He's an ex-football player turned entrepreneur, and he has a lot of people with a lot of wealth of information. Very smart guy. So it's how to win friends and influence people. Oh, Jeff, man, listen, I know you're a dude, but sometimes, us guys got to step out of our comfort zone a little bit, you know what I mean? But the 5 love languages. Read that book for 2 reasons. Number 1, you get to discover who you are. And if you're in a relationship, it's going to help the both of you. So I would recommend if you are in a relationship that you and your spouse read it. I read it after my breakup, and it was too late, but it's okay because now I learned for the next one. It's cool. That's how it works. You develop. But I'm going to tell you right now that the 5 love languages, because it's going to help you discover who you are, and it's going to help you understand the person next to you. And how to win friends and influence people, if I can paraphrase that book, is shut up, listen, learn. Read the book. It's going to give you a lot of great points, and it'll just hone in, and it'll give you a lot of good points. That's to start off, Network marketing, if you want a good network marketing so you can understand the business a little bit more, GoPro. If you guys ever heard of it, GoPro is very good. Very good stuff that you get out of that. And obviously the compound effect, you guys know. Obviously the compound effect is great. If you don't know, you can ask somebody. Nah. But let me see. I think there's one more. Of course, you're a badass. If you guys didn't read that book, y'all better read it now. And this is a guy that honestly, like 4 years ago, I hardly ever read a book. I've only read one book prior to 4 years. Before I started this journey, I only read one book, and that was a positive book. It's called Beyond Positive Thinking. And that book was my Bible for positivity. Because what it is that it allows you to understand, it gives you a perspective of everything that happens to you in life. It's called Beyond Positive Thinking by Dr. Robert Anthony. And you could only get it, I believe, in Amazon. I usually don't share that book because it's my private book, but I like you guys, and I think you guys should read it. It's good for you, even though you do Zumba. You should be doing size, but it's cool. I'm just saying. Get certified in size. Work your business smart. If I can give you an advice on that. I did that super size. Okay, good. So my only advice to you is this. Not knocking Zumba, but size is going to take over Zumba eventually. But if you get size certified, it's only going to help your business. That's all I'm saying. It's going to help your business. Because Zumba is not in Beachbody. Size is. And obviously the music is there. So you're still going to be dancing. You just don't have that Latin flavor. Let's see. Oh, well. That was your 1 year destination, huh? It could be your you could fire Zumba now.
The stepping stone, right?
I'm joking. No, but seriously, like I mean, that's just an advice. Again, like I said before, don't listen to me. I'm just throwing an advice out there. It's your choice at the end of the day. My only advice is that it helps build your business. That's it. I'm not saying to give up Zumba, but I have a girl that, not on my team, but she's part of my downline through another coach. And she was a Zumba instructor, and now she's a size instructor, only because it's going to help her business. But she loved Zumba. She loved it. But she knew that size was not only going to be the new generation, because, it's like more upbeat music or whatever, but now it's, it's going to help better her business. It's just my opinion. Whatever. Everyone
should get certified in something, right?
Absolutely. I'm certified in Insanity, and I'm certified in P90X, which P90X I don't really use. I'm going to start using Insanity soon, so God willing. Anything else?
I'm excited. I'm going to order this Beyond Positive Thinking as soon as we're done, because I think it's awesome that you shared that with us. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you guys should. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to be on.
I'm so thankful. I really appreciate you taking so much time and working with me. And we arranged this when you were in Europe.
I know.
So
I responded.
I know. You're good.
Like I'm not one of those that be like, I'm on vacation. I can't talk to nobody. I'm like, come on. If I have the phone on me, why not? Like, seriously? Like, some people just make.
Clearly, we caught you when you had Wi-Fi.
Yes, you did.
But I really do appreciate it. Does anybody have any other questions? You can just unmute yourself if you do.
Don't go to Tootsie's with Dawn. Remember Tootsie's?
Well, yeah, I do remember Tootsie's. Next year, Nashville. When we're all in Nashville together, we'll take you to Tootsie's.
Don't go to Tootsie's with Dawn.
Stop it. Hector's like my conscience, okay?
Like, Dawn, stop it. Don't go.
All right. Anyway, on that note, thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate it. And I will see you soon. I know you're going to come up to Boston. We're going to figure out a game or something, right?
I definitely want to go for sure. I can't wait. Like, you guys, if you hold an event, like, honestly, if you hold an event, we'll plan it out. And then if I'm available.
Well, maybe you should come to our Super Saturday in October.
That's hard because if I miss the Super Saturday over here, oh my God, I won't hear the end of it.
Is that fear in your voice?
Huh?
Is that fear speaking?
No. You know what it is that my team shows up. My team, like I have my team, they represent, and they see me at another Super Saturday.
All right, so we'll come to a New York Super Saturday.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
You'll come to a Pats game. We've got this.
I got you.
All right.
I want to go to a football game. I'm down with that.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to order my book and going to bed.
Yes. Thank you very much for your time. I'm sorry I probably took too much of your time, but I hope it was better.
It was awesome.
Guys, and good luck. And like I always tell people, is have faith, not fear.
Thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye. Good night, everybody.